What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Can you feel it? Can you feel the excitement in the air? Things are happening. People were buying this dip and accumulating Algorand at a crazy rate. The amount of wallets with over 1,000 Algorand has gone up by quite a bit. And I've been here before. I've seen this before, and this is exciting. Things are getting ready to happen. We're going to read these two articles, one from AMBCRYPTO, and then we're briefly going to touch on one from the Motley Fool. Both descriptions will be in the description box below. Now, both links will be in the description box below, forgive me. From AMBCRYPTO, the true story of what Algorand investors are doing in anticipation of a rally. And it's coming. I can feel it. Algorand investors are, in the truest sense, absolutely unpredictable, because when investors of every other cryptocurrency were moving away from their investments, Algo holders were heading headfirst into the asset. This, despite the altcoin itself treading the abyss. I wouldn't call it an abyss. I would call it what it was. It was a dip. It was an opportunity. I picked up some Algorand at 34 cents. Once it reaches 30 cents and I have doubled my money, I'm pulling my original investment out, which means that during this dip, I got all that Algorand that I got for free. I like free. Dips are not your enemy. Dips are your friend. But they are only your friend if you have invested what you could comfortably lose. Never, ever, ever, ever put yourself out there and take a loan or take a mortgage on your house or anything crazy. Not financial advice, just advice from somebody who has been there and somebody who has seen many people fail and many people succeed. And the one thing that is common amongst both is those who fail from failure of planning. If you invest more than you can comfortably lose, then you're not thinking about the future. You got to think about the future. You want to be successful, and that's how you do it. You can't sweat the dips. You can't. If you're sweating the dips, you're not going to see the gains on the other side. I didn't sweat this dip. I waited for my normal day to buy. I didn't change any plans. Nothing has changed. I didn't spend more than I normally spent. I just got a heck of a lot more Algorand for the same price. And now I'm in a position when it reaches 70 cents, I can sell the original investment, take what I invested in as back out, which means I got all that Algorand at zero cost. I like free. Dips are our friend. Is Algorand heading up? Yes. Yes, it is. At the time of writing, Algorand was trading at 38 cents. It's at 41 cents at the time of recording this video. The last time the altcoin was at this level was 16 months ago, back in February of 2021. If this was the case with any other cryptocurrency, the network would see a decline in the presence of its holders. Not Algorand, because Algorand is popping out those partnerships left and right. Because current price does not matter one iota to Algorand holders, because in the end-all goal, if you're holding Algorand for the long term, it's all about transactions per second. All these partnerships, all these things using Algorand increase the transactions per second. How many transactions are done? And if we reach that 10,000 transactions per second, then I think we're all going to be sitting pretty. But quite honestly, I think we're going to be over 10,000 transactions per second. Algorand's TPS is going to be going up in Q3 of this year. And all this bodes for wonderful news for Algorand holders. That's why we are accumulating. Because we're not dumb. We see the future. We see the writing on the wall. And we all want to be a part of the financial future. Algorand is absolutely the exception to the rule. According to on-chain data, Algo is somehow attracting more investors towards it. In fact, the network saw the arrival of 1.1 million new addresses in the week before the crash. Because it's a good project. It's got the right team. It's got the right code, the right time. And I know people look at me like, what do you mean the right time? The market is crashing. No, the market is going on sale. That's all it is. And when you pick up at these prices and then it recovers, my lord, you're making profit. Although these were new investors for Algorand, this is a mere recovery, as the network had already lost 10.6 million holders. This figure accounted for 65% of all Algo addresses. Yeah, now that we're marketing and people are seeing the partnerships coming out, though, yes. Because the more partnerships, the more eyes on Algorand, the more use cases. And the more people use Algorand, the more people will use Algorand because it's a great project. It speaks for itself. People will use it. They will like it. They will talk about it. More people will use it because other people are using it and they like it and they want to see what it's about. And it's a wonderful project. It's, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best. Over the same time period, there were activity spikes as well. Between the 2nd of May and the 8th of May, for instance, over 350,000 investors were actively participating on chain. Nice. 350,000 investors, 350,000 people with the opportunity to make a transaction, and each transaction they make is just another cog in the wheel. This was a 1,160% hike from the average figure of 28,000, which also suddenly disappeared as the market crashed. I'm going to cough. Excuse me just a minute. Forgive me. This is about the 20th time I have attempted to record this video, so I'm not going to re-record it. That cough is in there, and it is in there forever. During the crash, Algo, along with the rest of the market, was also knocked down. Here, the altcoin ended up losing almost 50% of its value. However, it seems as like the tides are changing. The tides are not just changing. They're not just changing. The tide is coming in and all boats are rising, which is a good thing. I don't want anybody in the cryptocurrency market to suffer at all. That said, obviously, some people are. I mean, statistically, the majority of people fail. And that's investing in cryptocurrency and traditional finance. Because the majority of people are like sheep. It's human emotion. You can't just shed it off overnight. You can't go to bed, wake up in the morning and be like, well, I'm not going to think like I have for my entire life. It takes a conscious effort to look at the market and say, hey, being contrary actually makes you a lot of money. And it's a hard thing to do, to be contrary. It really, really is. Let's see here. Investors are also anticipating profits, in the coming few weeks. I am absolutely anticipating profits. 70 cents? Yes, we're going to make it. 75 cents? Yes. And at 75 cents, I've made a lot of money. At 70 cents, I'm recovering my original investment, so that way this dip didn't cost me anything, and all the Algorand I got during this dip would be free. I love free. At the time of writing, more than 60,000 addresses were active on chain, with the same rising since the end of May. Not only this, but holders are also actively accumulating as much Algo as possible in preparation for this huge rise. Buy orders for the asset exceed the sell orders by a margin of 2 million Algo. $600,000 at the time of their writing, about $700,000 at current price. These investors are probably expecting Algo to recover its May losses and return to the prices before then and trade at 74 cents. Yes, minimum 70 cents, absolutely. And 70 cents, I'll be sitting pretty. This can happen only when the altcoin marks a 92% rally. Yeah, because it's down 92% from that 74-cent point. And it's going to get there. I have every faith. And not only that, it's going to reclaim $1. I have absolute faith in that. It claims $1. Well, shoot, that 34 cents that I got Algorand at, or 35 or 36 cents, or whatever it was, 30-something cents, 35, 36 cents. Well, geez, that's a heck of a rise. Percentage-wise, yes, I'll take that every single time. And even the people in the Motley Fool are understanding this. Crypto winter. Yes, there are 3 altcoins that the Motley Fool is saying are going to be wonderful. Solana, Phantom, and Algorand. So we're obviously going to come down here to Algorand, and you can read this at your leisure if you so choose. Algorand is down 78% year to date, but the project continues to grow and develop at an impressive speed. Impressive, it's a breakneck speed. The future of Algorand is amazing. It's going to be bright. It's got everything you could possibly want as an investor. And when I say everything, I mean even down to, yeah, it's kind of been like this little hidden gem, and I'm okay with that. Because when you're out there and you're looking for something to make money, let's say you're looking for, I don't care, diamonds, gold, whatever. You go out in the field, there's nobody around, you find it, you stake it, nobody else knows about it, well, you make more profit. The more people that are in on it, as time goes on, the later you're in on it, the less profit you have. It's always those first people in a project, those first movers, those people who get in there early, the angel investors that make the most money. And right now the market is down. So I'm putting my money where future money is going to be. That's how you make a lot of money. The Algorand Foundation recently acquired both Napster and LimeWire, 2 peer-to-peer file sharing services that absolutely disrupted the music industry in the early 2000s. I used Napster, and they were kind of controversial, and now they're coming back. Nice. While the details of how Napster will be revitalized are sparse at this time, Universal Music Group, the record label that, well, most of the largest labels and artists in the world are on, will partner with LimeWire to launch NFTs from its artists on the platform. And I believe that is just the very beginning. Meanwhile, the number of accounts holding at least 1,000 Algorand tokens has more than doubled, from 33,806 a year ago to over 80,000 today. That means double the opportunity for transactions per second. And remember, the end-all goal in 2030 is to have 10,000 transactions per second being used on the Algorand network. That way you can make a decent living off those fees. Algorand is growing in terms of holders and continues to appeal to users with low fees of less than 0.001 algo. Not less than 0.001 algo, it is 0.001 algo. And transactions that settle in just 5 seconds. Yeah, eat that, Bitcoin. Eat that, Ethereum. While the overall crypto market has been down, projects like Algorand, Solana, and Phantom continue to build towards an exciting future. And I am ready to buy. And that's exactly what you want to see in your project. You want to see when everybody else is down, they have their head down and they are still pushing forward. They are still doing what needs to be done. That's what you want to see. And if you haven't put in more than you can comfortably lose, and if the market crashes to zero, your lifestyle hasn't changed, then you're all smiles. When these dips happen, who cares? You've done your research. Algorand is a good project. It's not going anywhere. So ride these dips like they're nothing. Come out the other end richer than you were in the beginning. That's how it's done. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And I will see you guys on the next one.